And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Spirit of Justice. We're trying to get as many questions and answers out of this as much as we can at this point, even though the judge really wants to go somewhere. So, what else do we need to know about this incident? Let's ask about the weapon. Mr. Payne, what was the murder weapon?
The murder weapon was the treasure box itself. The empty treasure box left at the scene had a large blood stain on it.
How oddly reprehensible, using the sacred treasure box for murder. There's a lot of fancy words I realize in this game, now that I think about it.
The accused came to the treasure room with the express purpose of stealing the treasure. He climbed the altar stairs and snatched the box, ready to abscond with the treasure. But he was discovered by Mr. Roll, who had come to the room in the course of his rounds. After walloping Mr. Roll on the head with the treasure box, the accused forced the bloody housing open and made off with the treasure inside.
That's not good. But the defendant is just a little boy. I hardly think he would be able to hit a victim, a grown man on the head.
Ah, very good point, Mr. Wright. But I'm afraid that won't help you. At the time of the crime, the accused was on the stairs leading up to the altar. The accused's elevated position would more than make up for their differences in stature.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Mr. Payne, your reasoning is flawless. What an elegant argument. Hats off to you, Chief Prosecutor. Your title is obviously well earned. Well, the accused's guilt is certainly conclusive. Unless there is anything else, I am ready to announce my verdict. Very well. In any case, I find the accused... Just a moment, Your Majesty. Don't you think you're rushing the verdict just a little bit? I told you, I have plans to attend to, and... Ah! I'm late! It already started! How did the time fly by so fast? He's still stuck on that? We haven't even heard the defendant's side of the story yet. Your Majesty, the defense asserts its right to cross-examine the defendant. Huh? Did I say something funny? Cross-examine the... What do you mean by that? Oh my god. What? What do you mean? What do I mean? I seem to have some dim recollection of the process, but I can't quite recall.
And little wonder, a so-called defendant hasn't been questioned in over 20 years.
Should I even be surprised anymore? Anyway, I demand we let the defendant, or the accused, tell his side of the story. Is that really necessary? Of course it's necessary, Your Majesty.
What harm could it do? I say we allow the boy to speak, Your Majesty. Though I doubt he'll have anything of relevance to say.
You seem very confident over there. Oh, how kind of you, Your Royal Payness. Very well, as long as it's okay with you, Mr. Payne. I'm already hopelessly late for my class anyway.
In that case, the prosecution calls the accused back to the witness stand.
Oh, but before we do, I better call my wife and apologize for missing that class. Any objections? Go for it, Your Majesty. This judge is such...
Accused, state your name and occupation again, if you would.
I'll be your guide. I'm in training to be a monk, and I'm a tour guide too. Why me? Now, where were we? Cross-examining the defendant, Your Majesty. Right. Let's do that then. At the defense attorney's insistence, I might add. He sounds a little dispirited. His wife must have given him a piece of her mind. Well, the defense had better get to it, and make it quick, if you please. The defense. Mr. Wright, I didn't know you were a lawyer. Well, I am, and I'm here to defend you, Albie. Don't worry. All you have to do is tell the truth, and you'll be alright. You tricked me! What? I knew you were a lawyer. I wouldn't have given you that tour. Give back that Magatamamon I gave you yesterday. Magatamon, excuse me. Albie, what's gotten into you? Don't talk to me. You disgust me. Now even Albie's against me? But why?
This must be a new experience for you, Mr. Wright, being loathed by a client.
Oh my god.
Now then, accused, please give the court your testimony. The incident occurred around noon, during the break between the morning and afternoon dance of devotion. I want you to tell the court what you were doing around that time.
Alright. I think for the most part this testimony is about the same as the demo. I think there was just like one additional testimony. But I will press on everything as it is, like I always do. The accused account. Oops, I hit the court record. My bad. I didn't kill Mr. Roll, and I didn't steal the treasure. I'm not allowed to go anywhere near the treasure room. I've never even seen that treasure box with a green Kuranese butterfly on it. When the incident happened, I was in the hallway, planning out our tour route. Were you well acquainted with the victim? Yes, he used to chat with me whenever we ran into each other in the temple. Mr. Roll was a monk in training when he was a kid too, you know. I bet Albie looked up to him. But he had to give that up and go to work when his family needed money. That's why he became a guard. But at least that way, he could still stay on at the temple. He was so proud when he was put in charge of guarding the treasure. He even got to carry the box to the palace for the New Year's rite.
The victim's parents apparently both died relatively young.
Well, that's tragic.
So Mr. Roll had to support his brothers and sisters as well. But even with his job as a security guard, I'm sure things couldn't have been easy for him.
It sounds like his circumstances and Albie's were very similar. Mr. Roll encouraged me to never give up. Albie, you train hard and make sure you become a monk one day. Don't end up like me, he said. He was always cheering me on in my training and in my tour guide business too. Why in the world would I kill a nice man like that? Yes, I see. You express yourself well. Defense, now that you've heard the accused's account, are you finally satisfied? If so, let's draw this to an expeditious conclusion. Judge, no! How many times have you tried to stop this? But your majesty, I haven't even cross-examined the defendant yet. That wasn't the end of it? It's been so long. I don't rightly recall what this cross-examining thing is about. A judge who doesn't know what a cross-examination is. What fresh hell is this? I really do wish I could remember how it works. Should I give the judge a refresher on cross-examination? See, normally I skip this, but the dialogue here is actually pretty funny, so we're gonna go through the tutorial. I guess I better, or we'll never get anywhere. Your Majesty, please allow me to explain the procedure. First, we lawyers listen carefully to a witness's testimony. Then we touch present to open the court record and examine the evidence. And why would you do that? To find and present any evidence that's inconsistent with the statements given. Present? I certainly don't need any gifts from you. Clearly, something is getting lost in translation with His Majesty. The point is, it's possible that a statement could contain a lie or a mistake. But what do you do if you can't find any inconsistencies in a witness's testimony? In that case, we may press the witness for more information. Pressing a statement might reveal new information, or even entirely new statements. Presenting evidence is one thing, but pressing witnesses? I'll have you know, defense, that I do not allow violence in my courtroom. Rest assured, only gentle verbal pressure is used, no physical force involved. Well, I'm not convinced. After all, who knows what sort of tactics an attorney will resort to? One false move and I'll call the bailiff. Yeah, something's definitely getting lost in there. For now, I should just focus all of my energy on questioning Albie and comparing his statements with the information in the court record. Dojo's good stuff. The judge, though. Alright, we're pressing on everything. I believe you didn't do either of those things, Albie. You do? But you're a lawyer. Of course you'd say that. Now, there's no need for that.
But he's right. Lawyers always claim their client is innocent, even if they have to lie. Just like you're doing right now, accused.
Don't lump me in with that lawyer. I'm not lying. I didn't steal anything and I didn't kill anybody. Poor Albie. You're not allowed to go near the treasure room. Why is that? It's a rule of the temple. They keep a lot of important things in that room. Yes, like the Founder's Orb in particular. Only the royal family may lay eyes on it. Didn't Mr. Payne say anyone without spiritual power would go blind? I heard you wouldn't be blind if you just looked at the outer treasure box. But I've never been anywhere near the treasure room. I'm too scared. You've got to believe me. This is really specific. Obviously, we're going to be presenting something there because, like, really specific there. A box with a butterfly on it? Yeah, you can see it in that newspaper article. Look. See? There's a relief of a Kuranese butterfly on the treasure box. Oh, this design here carved on the back of the box. I see it now.
It's a sacred butterfly said to carry the soul or mitama of the departed. Its wings form a loop that cradles the mitama and carries it to the Twilight Realm.
As you can see, there's even one depicted here behind me as at the judge's bench. Well, what do you know? There it is. Though it kind of looks like he's about to be carried off to the Twilight Realm himself. Oh boy. Anyway, I've never seen this treasure box. Besides... Planning out your tour route? Yes, I was planning out a tour for you. For me? Well, thank you, Albie. I wouldn't have done it if I knew you were a lawyer. I wasted all that time on you. Give it back. Sadly, I'm a lawyer, not a Time Lord. Actually, as soon as he heard that it's what I am, he's been like a totally different person. I certainly don't think Albie committed the murder. However... We're getting a flashback? Don't talk to me! You disgust me! Albie, please. That outburst earlier makes me wonder if he'd willingly tell me the truth. I better compare his statements and the court record carefully. If I find any inconsistencies, I can present some evidence and maybe get him to open up. We're gonna do that right now. Third statement. Because first of all, this newspaper is in black and white, so how did he know it was a green butterfly? Is this the right thing? Objection! Hey. Oh, Albie, why would you lie to me? So you say you've never laid eyes on the treasure box, is that right? That's right. It's forbidden, so I'd never do that. In that case, how did you know there was a green butterfly on it? Huh? Because I saw a picture of it in that newspaper article. Nope, take another look. These photos are in black and white. You couldn't possibly tell what color the butterfly is from these pictures. Ah! Hold on, his bag. Did it just move? Polkonka? I beg your pardon? Bless you.
Polkonka is a word in Kuranese that people use when they're surprised.
You just exposed a lie. So this is the power of cross-examination, is it? I should be the one shocked here by your shocking lack of understanding. But just a moment. If the accused was lying, then that just makes him more suspicious than ever. Ugh, and this just makes things worse for me than ever. Albie, are you hiding something? Please, give only true statements. I can't help you if you don't tell the truth. Darn, I just can't seem to get him to open up to me.
Though accused, you have seen the treasure box with your own eyes after all, haven't you?
Well, maybe I did take a peek one time, a long time ago, when I was cleaning the treasure room. But you weren't in the treasure room at the time of the incident, right? Of course I wasn't.
That is a lie. You were most definitely inside the treasure room on the day of the incident. And I have proof.
He does?
This was found on the floor of the treasure room. It's a scroll entitled Notice and contains a list of temple monk duties. These instructions pertain to the day of the incident.
And what exactly is that supposed to prove?
The accused's fingerprints were found on the scroll.
What? Oh no! Where is it? It's not here! Oh, I must have dropped it somewhere.
Indeed, you must have dropped it when you were busy murdering the victim.
Well, shit. Where was this found? Was this near the victim? No. Then that means Albie was there on the day of the incident? So this is the power of cross-examination. The more the accused talks, the guiltier he paints himself.
Yes, it would seem so, your majesty.
He predicted my argument and had evidence ready to refute it. When Payne is actually smart.
See, I told you can't trust lawyers and their lies.
The benevolence already said the kid's guilty. Just declare him guilty and get it over with. No, everything's going all wrong. Shadow, what do I do? As I suspected, this cross-examination session has served no purpose whatsoever. No, you're wrong. But armed as we are with her benevolence's insight, there's no reason to doubt his guilt. And I guess I'll just have to poke holes in this insight of hers. By the way, this didn't prove to be very interesting at all, Mr. Payne. Nevertheless, I will now finally announce my verdict. That's number 4 now? Wait just one moment, Your Majesty. I haven't seen this divination seance for myself yet. As a defense, I have the right to check it. Is that really necessary? I have to go home and apologize to my wife. I guess she really did give him the business.
Your Majesty, I enthusiastically support having Mr. Wright see the seance.
You do? And why is that, Mr. Payne?
Don't you want to see it? See the lawyer being utterly crushed by the power of the seance. And then watch him tearfully beg for mercy.
Well now.
I'm sure it'll make up for not getting to go to that class with your wife.
It certainly does sound worth seeing, and it'd give me a juicy tidbit to tell the missus. I've been reduced to a juicy tidbit. Well, for an interloper, I imagine you do have to see it for yourself to be convinced. It's certainly unprecedented, but let's have the divination seance performed again. But then, right after the tearful begging, I really do have to be going. The only tearful begging is going to come from the prosecution when we're through. You said it right.
How pitiful the defense looks, still scrambling desperately for a foothold. Blissfully unaware that defeat and despair are all that await him.
Whew. Hello, Princess Rayfa. There she is, her benevolence. Your benevolence, Rayfa Padma Karayan. Thank you for coming all this way once again.
Your gratitude is unnecessary. This is simply my duty. Barb-headed attorney.
Yes?
I am told you question the veracity of the sacred divination seance. It would seem the depths of your irreverence and blasphemy are lost on you.
I'm just a foreigner, ignorant in the ways and customs of this country. I apologize in advance for anything rude I might say or do, Your Benevolence. All I want is a fair trial for Albie.
You would imply that the trials of this country are unfair. Do explain, outsider. How verdicts founded on truths imparted by the very souls of the dead lack partiality.
What's fair about trials with no defense and no chance for the accused to tell their story? But how dare you speak to Her Benevolence in that manner? Did you hear that? Did you hear how he talked to Her Benevolence? What does he know about anything? Ignorant outsider? We won't stand for it. He must be punished. Yikes. Looks like I really stuck my foot in it this time. God damn it, right? Punish him! Punish him! Punish him! Punish him!
Silence, one and all.
Is she standing up for me?
Be not disquieted, my people. He merely expresses his opinion.
Well, looks like Her Benevolence is going to be more reasonable than I thought. You might jinxed it.
Attorneys are ghastly creatures with souls stained black by brazen untruths. The words of a lowly worm such as that are not worth troubling yourselves over.
Alright, I take that back. Yeah. Like I said, you jinxed it.
None of his prattling can sway the truth of my insights. Rest assured, he will soon see the error of his foolish ways.
Now then, Your Benevolence, the divination seance, if you would.
Certainly. Nana, my robe.
Quick work, that nanny.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
wonder how much memory that took up for this game. Well, that's not incriminating at all. What just happened? An image appeared in the pool. A final message from the victim's soul, the last communication of his mitama. The divination seance has revealed this to us.
The benevolence can use her power of spirit communion to project a victim's memories of the last few moments before their demise.
So what we saw in the pool... Oops, I forgot to lower the bomb again. What we saw in the pool is what Mr. Roll actually experienced?
In the victim's memories, we see the accused raising a weapon up over his head. This is consistent with the findings of the police investigation.
There has to be some kind of mistake. I didn't do it. This looks bad for Albie. Really, really bad.
Now, do you see why I'm the incredible pain?
More than I can express. But even if those really are the victim's last memories, what can I do with them?
There it is! There's the face of a man being utterly crushed. Oh, how long I've waited to see it! Isn't it wonderfully gratifying, Your Majesty?
Oh, yes, very satisfying indeed. I'm convinced Karian has really morbid viewpoints on things. Now, are you finally convinced, traveler? The accused is most assuredly guilty. Am I really the only unbiased one here? Yes. Now then, I think we've been amused enough. If you give up now, I won't invoke the Defense Culpability Act against you. You'll be free to slink back to your own country with your tail between your legs. The Defense Culpability Act? What's that? What? You mean you honestly don't know? No? What's with all the hubbub?
Well. Not only is he a lying, black-hearted lawyer, he's also an imbecile. Your Majesty, I think you better explain the Defense Culpability Act to him.
Yes, I think I better. The Defense Culpability Act, or DC Act for short, is as follows. In the name of Her Eminence, those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In other words, if you help the accused by defending him and he is found guilty, you will receive the same sentence as he. What? What kind of insane law is that? Under the DC Act, many an attorney has been convicted and met with a grim fate. Some went to prison, others received the death penalty. That's why there are so few in our country today who admit to being an attorney.
That's as it should be. The history of our courts proves that. Attorneys are black-souled creatures who will tell any lie to save the accused. Thus, attorneys deserve to be exterminated.
I've never felt so much hostility coming at me from so many sides. What could have happened to make everyone feel this way?
You fell right into my trap, Phoenix, right? Your win streak against me and my brother ends today. With the seance and the DC Act on my side, I'll finally get my revenge.
Can I just take a moment to just point out that Pain wants Phoenix Wright dead? So that's why he was so eager to have me defend Albie?
Chased out and immunized back home, fate brought me to the foothills of Karian. I thank my lucky stars that I'm chief prosecutor here now.
Defense, know that if I ruled that the accused is guilty, you will go to prison too. That explains Albie's reaction earlier. Another flashback. This game really likes flashbacks.
Defend me? Mr. Wright, what are you saying? You can't do that. Your Majesty, isn't a prison sentence a bit lenient? After all, we're talking about treason. One should pay for such a crime with one's life.
Yes, I believe the death penalty might be appropriate under these circumstances. Wow, we're just gonna go right to that, aren't we? The death penalty? No way. You're kidding, right, Your Majesty? Okay, look, death penalties are no laughing matter. I don't care what you're saying. Do I look like I'm kidding? I'll have you put your life and your dark-tainted soul on the line here. Death? This can't be happening.
The courts of resignation. Our courts are well known as thus. In this land where my seances provide the truth and no attorneys can intervene, criminals know that all they can do is resign themselves to their fate.
Oh, foreign lawyer, I ask you once more. Are you sure you still want to defend the accused? Well, if we don't defend the accused, this is going to be a really short game. There's Maya to think of in all of this too. I can't just lay down my life. Yes, you can. There are 4 more cases we gotta go through. What in the world should I do? Continue the defense. And after this scene, I'm probably gonna stop there. Isn't this why I became a lawyer in the first place? Oh, to help those with no one on their side? I can't just abandon everything I believe in. All I can do now is stand firm and fight.
Well, don't hold your tears back on my account, Phoenix Wright. Admit your defeat and grovel before me, the chief prosecutor, for your life.
Objection!
Oh, no! We're gonna fight for our lives. Even if it means being subject to the Defense Culpability Act. I will defend Albie.
What? But, Mr. Wright!
The defendant insists he's innocent, and not even a divination seance should be accepted without examination. Take that. Pokonka!
But if I'm found guilty, you'll get the death penalty too. Even knowing that, you still want to defend me?
I don't know what happened in the past, but it looks like everyone in this country considers lawyers to be liars. So I can understand if you don't believe me. But I still believe in you and your innocence. So all I have to do is keep believing and find the truth. That's all there is to it.
Barb-headed attorney, you continue to amuse me. Though your barbed jabs are proving to be more than mere jokes.
Your benevolence. Believe me when I say that this attorney will knock your insides out.
Insolent, disrespectful attorney! You'll have plenty of time to regret your folly in the Twilight Realm.
Every time the What is it in Japanese? What do they call this? It's not Twilight Realm, obviously, in Japanese, but what is it in Japanese? Because, I'm sorry, Twilight Realm sounds like something out of Twilight Princess. Not a wise move, traveler. Not wise at all. You should have taken the chance I offered to save your life. But you have made your choice. The Defense Culpability Act will be applied in this case. And with this verdict, you'll both soon be parting with your heads. Good God. These people really want to kill something.
The souls of the departed speak only the truth, and I but give their messages a voice. If you think my insights contain falsehood, I challenge you to prove it.
We'll do that in the next video, because we are now out of time, so we'll look into the divination seance in the next video. See you guys then.